Welcome to Traveling Kangaroo. Imagine a city slowly sinking into the earth. This is the reality for Mexico City, one of the world's largest and most vibrant metropolises. The city is facing a geological crisis, sinking at an alarming rate. Buildings crack, infrastructure crumbles, and the future seems uncertain. What is causing this phenomenon? The answer lies in the very ground beneath the city. Mexico City's sinking is not new. It has been happening for centuries, a consequence of both natural forces and human actions. The city sits on an ancient lakebed, a soft and unstable foundation. Over time, the weight of the city compresses the soil, causing it to compact and subside. This natural process is exacerbated by human activities, particularly the extraction of groundwater from the aquifer beneath the city. As water is pumped out, the empty spaces in the ground collapse, further accelerating the sinking. The consequences of this subsidence are significant. To understand why Mexico City is sinking, we must journey back millions of years. The Valley of Mexico, where the city sits, was once a vast lake. Over millennia, volcanic eruptions and erosion filled the lake with layers of sediment, creating the soft, clay-rich soil that characterizes the region. This soil, while fertile, is highly compressible, especially when dry. The ancient lakebed is not uniform. It consists of various layers of clay, silt, and sand, each with different properties. The most problematic layer is the upper clay layer, known as the Mexico City clay. This clay has a high water content and is extremely susceptible to compaction when it dries out. As the city's weight presses down on this layer, the water is squeezed out, causing the clay particles to pack together more tightly. This process, known as consolidation, is the primary driver of subsidence in Mexico City. Long before the arrival of the Spanish, the Aztecs built their capital, Tenochtitlan, on an island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. They were skilled engineers, constructing canals, causeways, and chinampas, or floating gardens, to adapt to the lake environment. The lake provided water, transportation, and protection, but it also presented challenges. The Spanish conquest in the 16th century brought about a dramatic transformation. They drained the lake to control flooding and make way for their own city. This decision, while seemingly practical at the time, had unintended consequences. Without the lake to support it, the soft clay soil began to compact more rapidly under the weight of the growing city. Buildings sank, and the problem of subsidence emerged. The Spanish, unaware of the geological implications of their actions, continued to build grand structures and expand the city. This reliance on groundwater further contributed to the depletion of the aquifer and the sinking of the city. Mexico City's population exploded in the 20th century, transforming from a colonial town into a sprawling megacity. Millions migrated from rural areas in search of opportunity, drawn by the promise of jobs, education, and a better life. This rapid urbanization placed an unprecedented strain on the city's resources, particularly its water supply. To quench the thirst of its burgeoning population, Mexico City turned increasingly to the aquifer beneath its feet. Thousands of wells were drilled, drawing vast quantities of water from the ground. The city's thirst seemed insatiable, and the consequences of this over-extraction were severe. The water table plummeted, and the rate of subsidence accelerated. As the city sank, so too did its water infrastructure. Pipes cracked and leaked, leading to contamination and water loss. The irony is palpable. The very resource that sustained the city's growth was also contributing to its demise. Mexico City is the economic and political heart of Mexico. It is a global city, home to multinational corporations, financial institutions, and cultural attractions. The city generates a significant portion of Mexico's GDP and plays a vital role in the country's political life. Yet this economic powerhouse is facing a sinking reality. The economic costs of subsidence are substantial. Damaged infrastructure requires costly repairs. Buildings must be reinforced or abandoned. Water shortages disrupt businesses and industries. These costs are a significant drain on the city's budget and hamper economic growth. The political implications are equally profound. Mexico City is a city of contrasts, where ancient history collides with modern life. It is a city of vibrant culture, renowned for its museums, art, food, and music. Yet this rich cultural heritage is under threat from the sinking ground beneath it. Iconic landmarks including the Metropolitan Cathedral, the Palace of Fine Arts, and the Templo Mayor show visible signs of damage from subsidence. These structures are not just architectural marvels, they are repositories of history, culture, and national identity. Their loss would be immeasurable. The impact of subsidence extends beyond grand monuments. It affects the daily lives of millions of residents. Cracked walls, uneven floors, and damaged plumbing are common occurrences. Despite the challenges, the spirit of the people of Mexico City remains resilient. The sinking of Mexico City is a complex problem, but it is not insurmountable. Engineers, scientists, and policymakers are working together to find solutions to mitigate subsidence and secure the city's future. These solutions involve a combination of engineering interventions and sustainable practices. One approach is to reinforce existing buildings and infrastructure. This involves strengthening foundations, adding support structures, and using innovative materials that can withstand the stresses of subsidence. Another strategy is to improve water management. This includes reducing groundwater extraction, treating and reusing wastewater, and harvesting rainwater. Mexico City has made progress in recent years in reducing its reliance on groundwater. New wells have been banned in certain areas, and water tariffs have been introduced to encourage conservation. The future of Mexico City depends on the collective efforts of its citizens, its leaders, and the global community. Happy travels ahead! Subscribe for more adventures. Subscribe to our channel for more travel adventures. Follow us on social media for daily travel updates. You've been watching Traveling Kangaroo, text overlay. Visit travelingkangaroo.com for exclusive travel insights.